Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of the Two-Thirds Podcast. I hope you're doing well. I was trying to think of another cool word to say with well, but well is the only one I could think of. So, hope you're doing well. On today's episode, our friend Scott from the band Divided Me is on the podcast. He's also on a YouTube channel called Noonish with his friends Victoria and Jory. And we just had him on. He and his band have just come off of a tour through Texas and the Midwest up into, I believe, Missouri, and with the bands Ilya, The Protest, and Theody. And so we just wanted to talk to him about music and being on tour and what it's like to be in a band or be a musician in the town we live in. And we get pretty, I don't know the word, not heated, just really passionate about our town and how the town treats musicians and just kind of what our hope is for the town. And Scott has a lot to say, man. So this episode is really, really fun just to kind of hear his thoughts and talk about music. I'm a musician. He's a musician. It's really awesome. And Shane interjects here and there. Shane sort of became the third in this episode and played Blitz and Hitman and Assassin's Creed the whole time. We talk about nerdy things like always, but we also kind of get into just how our town is. So if you don't listen to a full episode, any other of our episodes all the way through, listen to this one. This one's a two-parter. So this part one's only about an hour or so long, and then the second part of it it'll come out next week, and you can listen to it either on SoundCloud or on YouTube, whichever one you prefer. I will say in the last 30 seconds I have, SoundCloud is the best format to listen to our podcast because you can download the SoundCloud app to your device and listen to it in the background. The only problem is that we can only have up to 2 episodes at a time. So any of our old episodes are actually deleted from the website, and they're still on YouTube, but you just can't listen to them on SoundCloud right now. You can listen to it on your phone while you're driving, so if you're driving down the road, you can listen to it there. So, oh, one more thing I forgot to tell you. Our air conditioner was a piece of crap, and I was trying to keep our house cold, so if you hear the AC, that's why. Alright, I'm going to shut up. So here's this week's episode of Two-Thirds with our good friend Scott. We talk about some pretty heated topics. So here we go.
Yeah, I hate mango, that's fine.
It's really gross. I like dried
Let me
fruit,
try a
but...
piece before you take it.
Do you like dried grapes? Yeah?
Raisins? It's raisins.
No.
Dried grapes are
No way.
raisins. Little did we know
What are
that Scott is a complete idiot.
What is dried, what... Okay, but dried raisins are the only ones that get their own
Get a
name.
different name, yeah.
Like, because dried bananas
Are just dried
are
bananas.
just dried bananas.
Yeah. Cranberries are craisins. They call them dried cranberries.
But
are
see, that's raisins.
Nope.
That's racist
That is not good.
of the vegetable
Right.
fruit families.
That's like somebody was like, let's take a mango and then remove everything that makes it a mango.
Oh, like the good stuff. Like the
Exactly.
juices.
It's really not good.
Yeah, it's freaking disgusting.
My favorite thing
It
so
looks
far
like
has
a-
been the dried plantains.
It looks like a chip.
Bitty bit.
No, it's
Dude,
wet.
do it. Try it.
It's wet. It's just like a pumpkin
sweet.
rind. Except
Can
no,
we
it's
do
the
that
texture of a
like
pumpkin rind.
I don't
But
know.
tastes like a nasty mango. That got left out way too long.
The texture.
The texture
pumpkin
of
rind
a pumpkin
and the taste
like
of a nasty mango. Peace and love. Peace and air
Be kind,
grease.
be brave.
Be kind. Be kind. Be brave.
So
Alright,
y'all can finish that
yeah.
if you want, or
Finish this
all
fight.
right. Let's finish my death. Just kill me. Is that how this game works?
yeah, at the end.
Once
they
at the
get to
end, you
murder
just
everybody.
ooh. I did cool.
That'd be great. That'd be a great
Mm-hmm.
surprise ending to a sports game. The guy just comes up and just rips the head off.
Mortal
and
Kombat
licks the spine. Yeah.
style. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that would be good.
Why doesn't anybody in Mortal Kombat lick the body part that they just
I'm
dismembered
sure they do in Mortal
Oh,
Kombat 10.
I bet they do.
in 10?
I'm
Like,
almost
probably-
positive.
probably,
One of them licks their
Melina.
blade or something.
Kano licks his blade.
Okay.
Yeah. You have 10, don't you?
Mm.
Yeah, Victoria.
I
plays
don't.
it.
They do.
Okay.
Jory and Victoria,
I
but
remember watching.
I mean,
Victoria
we've been
play.
playing it. Yeah. Oh, another touchdown! Helps me nothing.
I never thought Victoria would play.
Oh, she's
Mortal
super
Kombat.
into Mortal Kombat. That's
She
like
could
her
kill a
favorite
guy,
game.
Actually,
Probably.
honestly, I never really saw Victoria playing video games.
Oh, that
What if Nolan made a football movie?
Oh, that's bullcrap.
that is bullcrap.
Boo.
If he made a football movie,
Yeah. Like who would be like Tom Hardy would be the
I feel like he
quarterback,
did.
right?
It was in.
It was Batman.
It was Batman. It was Dark Knight 3. or Dark Knight 2, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
I don't like Rises.
Well, those
it's
are two
dumb.
You
different.
didn't like Rise? Oh, you didn't like the
I didn't like the
name?
name. I didn't like the name.
Neither did I. I think I think me and Jeremy had the conversation at one point. It would have been cool if
that was
they
not
just
They given it a different name, like
yeah.
not even Dark Knight.
right.
Yeah.
Like
I
if you
think
have
that would've been
Batman
cool.
Begins,
The
the
Dark
Dark Knight,
Knight.
and then have like the Cape Crusader or something.
Or
I like where you're going with it. I don't know if I'd like Cape Crusader.
Right. What would be knowing what Batman 3 was about?
Knowing what it's about, I would call it Bane.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
no,
Because
Break
there was
the
no
Bat.
Batman.
They should have called it Break the Bat.
Break the Bat, dude.
That would be good.
No,
That would have been a
I mean,
spoiler
okay,
for the movie.
yeah.
I think.
But I think because there was no real Batman, you know what I mean? Like, he was in maybe not even half of that. You know what I mean? I just don't, I mean, it was good, I guess. It was no Dark Knight. It was,
You were really careful with setting that controller down.
I don't want to,
I know, but like, none of us think about that.
Oh.
I mean, I
Absolutely not.
don't ever use that table, but
Yeah.
they never think about it.
right.
They're just like,
Well, you did that yourself. So.
I've been doing videos for
Oh my God!
No good? You slid
No
on your butt,
good.
dude. You can't sit
I
down.
did.
You can't sit down.
That's an animation I can't control.
I didn't
maybe
hear
not
it.
Break the Bat. Could have been the League of Shadows.
Oh, come on.
Oh, like Shadows in a Cave or something like that. Like,
Bat and Cat.
what was like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character's name?
Gosh.
Robin.
No, his name was,
That's what I'm saying. Like, go by his.
No,
like,
no, I
name
remember
it his name.
Yeah, no. I don't like that either. Call it Alfred. He had better lines in that movie than Batman ever will.
Batman or Alfred really had some great moments.
Yeah. I feel like that was one of the ones where I like, he was real good in, and he had a lot of stuff, and then they just exited him way too quickly. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you could have brought a lot more than just going,
They could have called
he gets
it.
ticked off, and then he leaves.
They could have called it The Joker's Not in This One.
The Joker's not in this one. He was supposed to play the jester, or the court.
Right. What
Yeah.
Scarecrow did, it was
Yeah.
supposed to be Joker, which would have been awesome.
God, that
Would've
would have
been
been
great.
so cool.
Right?
That honestly could have like. Oh my God.
I feel like they would have changed the entire. Did you
I
see
feel like the movie
the
would've been
article
totally
where they had Jordan Levert's character as the son of Joker? Like
Oh,
they
really?
they could connect him with Joker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I figured, I thought it'd be cool if they...
Just because you said it.
I feel
Dude,
like
I got
they...
444 pass yards, 443.
Oh,
I did-
nice.
yeah.
Barely over.
You actually had better stats than I did.
That they could have done... Was his name Jason?
No, it wasn't Jason
No,
Todd.
they wouldn't
Well,
have
No,
done that.
there was a kid that was Jason. In the
Oh, that
orphanage.
little kid, yeah.
that was Jason, supposed to be Jason Todd.
There was so
Oh.
much that happened in that movie. That could have been 2 movies.
Yeah.
To their detriment, that could have been 2 movies.
Yeah.
They really should have split that up.
I think they should have done it differently.
I think you have the Gotham kind of falling apart and all of this good jazz as Bane,
Mhm.
right? You have all
Yeah.
of this stuff that happens with Bane, and like the city turns into this chaotic place, and Batman. The end of that movie is Batman going to that cave,
So, the
Blake.
breaking of his back.
right?
Blake was his name.
And then they have, Blake Robin. That's what you call him. Robin Blake was his name. That's a good name.
It's good.
And then the twist ending at the end of the 3rd movie is Ra's al Ghul returning. And then the 4th movie, it ties it all together. You bring Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, like the way I think Nolan writes stuff is more way not comic booky. You know what I mean? Because like that makes sense in a comic
that's
book
very
world.
comic book.
But like he wanted more realistic, I think, and the way he did it wasn't realistic because there's no way a town functions like that after horrible things like that happen. Like there's
Right.
I don't think the government would just sit by and be like, yeah, we'll just wait.
No, I don't know.
I don't really know.
I think because he didn't really talk about the military, honestly, in that movie.
Yeah.
And I
He
feel
just
like,
had them on the outside of the town, basically waiting for, or to give them,
I mean, look at
food or
Detroit.
whatever, rations.
like think towns can get kind of chaotic in the real world without government intervention. So maybe it's Because don't they always say, like, it's capitalist propaganda? Like, all the Nolan Batmans? Somehow they're, like, capitalist propaganda. Or, like, promoting George Bush. That's something I've heard, but I don't...
Well, I know, like, the first one had a lot to do with the 1%. And all
Yeah.
That. It was during the Wall, like, all that Wall Street stuff. It was
Yeah.
around the same time. But
Well, in the beginning of the third one, they had the Wall Street,
Right.
part of
that's
it.
what I meant.
Oh, okay.
The third one. Dark Knight
Right.
Rises.
The first of
The
it,
Bat
yeah.
of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
They should call it the Bat of Wall Street.
Exactly.
That's
They
what
need
Mar-
to...
call it.
Hey, and then you could have put Margot Robbie in that, and then she'd also been in The Wolf of Wall Street, and then she would have been in Suicide Squad.
Michael Douglas
Wow.
as Alfred.
Nah.
No?
Michael Douglas?
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, he's
He's already
American.
Hank Pym.
Yeah. I mean, before that, just Dreamcast.
Ian McKellen could do it.
Yeah.
He totally could do
He'd
it.
steal it, though. Like,
He would. Oh, totally.
Patrick Stewart could do it better.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
He'd be
He's bald,
he'd be
though.
good.
I think
He's
Jeremy
Alfred's
Irons
bald
is-
now.
Alfred's
isn't he?
bald.
Alfred's bald now.
Sure, yeah.
Like, animated series. Alfred.
Right, you're right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
John Cleese.
John, oh my gosh. Oh, but
What's
no,
he-
I am excited for Jeremy Irons.
John Cleese, Monty Python.
Oh okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Rat Race. I wish I could do his impression. His voice is so cool. But I can't.
He's also in a lot of video games, actually.
John
He
Cleese.
has a big role in some video game. What? Okay, so I'm on John Cleese's wiki, and his like subsections are biography, interest with lemurs, political view,
Interest
credits.
with
How do you just like slightly drop that?
Maybe he
Cleese
did
has a
movie.
passion for lemurs. Oh my goodness!
Did he do a documentary about
Yeah,
it?
He did a comedy film, Fierce Creatures, in
Fierce
1997.
Creatures,
Got him into it, I guess.
I guess one of those British movies that British people think is funny.
Yeah. Come on now. British movies are good.
Some.
Some?
Some.
Yeah.
There's British TV I love.
I don't know, man. The whole like pace of British television.
Okay, IT Crowd is one of it.
I'd argue that that's American humor.
It
though.
is. No, it is. The pacing and everything, it is American. But the things they say and the situations they get into are very British.
Yeah.
But it is. That's why I like it, because it's a form of American. And that's why the American IT Crowd with Joel McHale did not work. They did a pilot of...
And why the Office
word for word
version of the UK Office, I think, was way better than the UK version of the Office.
Our Office was better?
Yeah, our Office was
Oh,
better,
sure.
I think, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it had really good...
The Brits would argue that their Office is better.
I don't know, man. Like, there's a magnetism that Steve Carell has.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, like the characters that they portrayed as the UK Office, they built like the kind of the framework,
Yeah, totally.
But the Americans were like, yeah, let's just go all over the place.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you could follow them better.
I thought he was in a lot of video games. I must be thinking of another British guy. He is in the Elder
Stephen
Scrolls
Fry.
Online, though. Yep.
Stephen Fry's
Yeah.
in a lot of...
Yep.
He's
That's
pretty
who I was
nerdy.
thinking of.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hey, while Shane's looking that up, we have Scott here on our podcast to include you in the conversation, listeners. So our friend Scott...
You listeners.
That was not me.
Wow.
I love you.
Comment on our stuff. Share it.
There's some people. Jared
Lazy.
likes us.
That's true. Sorry, Jared. I love you.
Jared. Oh, I miss Jared. I see him on Snapchat every once in a while.
I don't have Snapchat.
Beer,
Yeah.
food, beer, food.
Food, beer,
It's-
food, yes. Beer, food, and then random outside shot of him drinking beer
And too
or
many
wine.
tank tops. I've never seen Jared
He
wear a
has.
tank top. And then all of a sudden, when he goes up there, he's wearing tank tops like
Yeah.
per day. It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good looking tank tops though.
But
I mean, not to
Jared-
diss his style.
I think it's...
because it's
I
really
think
good.
Maybe he's doing that to make an extreme disconnect between his stage persona and who he is.
Do you think his... So you're saying that his... He's totally gonna get mad, but do you... Like, you're saying his stage persona, he puts that on Snapchat then?
No.
No.
The tank top...
He's alternate personality thing.
Like when,
Oh, okay.
when
He
he puts on
disconnects.
the blazer...
He's
He
Jared.
becomes-
Jared
that's
on
Batman.
the stage,
Okay.
right?
Or-
And when he's wearing tank top,
Yeah.
that's chilling
Actual
Jared.
Jared. Okay.
Or maybe you
Please
could
clarify,
argue
Jared.
that that's
Yeah.
different.
Hey, Jared, let us know
You could argue that
that's true or
that
not.
Jared actually, when he goes on stage, is the actual Jared, and when he comes off,
like Rorschach in
like
Watchmen,
Rorschach.
right? Rorschach wearing the mask is true Rorschach.
Is true Rorschach.
And when he's not a person.
Yeah. They're saying his name 3 times fast.
Rorschach, Rorschach, Rorschach.
Rorschach? Yeah.
So Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you
I
do?
think that Rorschach
Oh
is
my
like
gosh!
the Rorschach
love
that
it.
exists in like the superhero realm. Like Rorschach only is necessary in order to be with superheroes. He's the Batman of that universe.
Totally.
And that's what Batman is. Like Batman, Bruce Wayne cannot exist with superheroes, so he has to become Batman.
Yeah, but Rorschach says that when his mask's taken, he says, "Give me my face."
Because he can't exist with superheroes as that guy.
He can't. I think he can't exist at all without the mask.
Do you think he's got like a thing going on, like a psyche type thing, where if he's disconnected from it, then he goes insane? He's like, he doesn't know how to react because he has the mask on all the time.
I think Rorschach's an extreme case of Batman. No, yeah, I mean.
Well, we can talk about that on a later one.
Oh man, yeah, I'm not built for that.
Yeah.
I would be down for someone else to make a Watchmen movie as soon as they can.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so done with the first one. Like, I think somebody could come in and actually...
Did you like it at the time, though?
No.
No?
I was so back and forth on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally 50%. Like, I was like, I like that a lot.
because the first time we saw it, I knew you didn't like it. Then we went to Austin and watched it. And you and I talked about, like... Your complaints about it was like, well, from a movie standpoint, the things that they did in the comic wouldn't have worked.
Right.
Which doesn't make sense because Snyder made that movie like frame for frame almost.
Right. And that to its detriment.
Yeah, totally.
Night Owl and Rorschach were incredible. Everything else lacked. Malin Ackerman is a babe. And then everything else just sucked.
I didn't like
she's
Malin
an
Ackerman.
attractive lady. Absolutely. If you like Kristen Wiig, you like Malin Ackerman.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is that even a thing?
But what about
Same
personality,
type of
bro?
person. Who cares about personality with movie actresses? Like,
Okay, I'm
honestly.
sorry, I forgot. Well, they don't really have... No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say they don't have one, but I think that's harsh.
The last podcast, we spent like 5 minutes talking about Adrian Brody's nose, so...
Oh, wow.
We did?
How'd that work? I mean, did that make the cut?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, I remember
Heck yeah.
that now. Yeah, I totally
Because you
remember
said
that.
Christian Bale is like a poor man's Adrian Brody.
Did I say that?
And then I was like, no, Adrian Brody is a poor man's everybody. And you got really offended that I said Adrian Brody wasn't attractive.
And then you talked about his nose.
And then everybody around us also said that he wasn't very pretty.
Was it because of his nose?
Mostly it's the nose thing.
Oh, man.
I'm probably going to cut it because I already felt bad about leaving it in for last episode. But I probably will.
Why? Like when Adrian Brody listens to...
I
Yeah,
don't want to hurt his feelings.
No,
I don't
no.
want... Are you about to play Hitman?
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
That's a game I've never played.
I like how
never
this is
touched
real
it.
lax. Like, you just... Like, you're playing a game and talk... I think this is the exact way to do a podcast.
Well, it was lax.
I mean...
Until you said that.
I'm sorry. My bad. Go back to that, lax.
Okay, so, Scott. now
What
that
do you
Shane-
do, Scott?
What do I
Tell
do?
us who you are and what...
Who are you? Why are you here?
I don't know, really. No,
Get out of not my house.
Not my house. No, I'm just a dude. I just been playing stuff.
I'm just a kid. You remember that song? You remember that song?
Yeah.
You know
Of
what
course
song I'm
I
talking
remember
about.
that
Okay.
song.
I just wanted to make sure
Simple
you
Plan.
didn't.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Oh, let me
stuff.
think. Maybe it's in my memory somewhere. No, you knew, like...
Yeah, immediately. You didn't have to sing. When he said, I'm just a dude, I was like, yeah, I'm just a kid.
What
Simple
is
Plan.
this? I want to kill people.
No, you got to read.
Yeah, you gotta read this. So, Scott, you are in a band,
Uh huh.
right?
Yeah.
Partly why I wanted to have you on was because I want someone to talk about music that... Like, Shane likes music and
Yeah.
consumes music.
Mhm.
But, like...
Dude, look at this.
I don't even like music, so I don't even consume it anymore. I just have that Apple Music now, and I'm like, or what's that? The Apple Music?
Oh,
Yeah.
like they have their own, like, Pandora now?
Yeah, it's like Pandora and stuff like that, and I don't even buy it anymore.
Yeah.
$9.99 a month, and that's not even going to the artist, so
I'm
whatever.
glad we had you for the music podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I
This
hate
sucks.
music. Well,
Yeah, I mean, music sucks in all ways. No, I'm just kidding. I like music. What's
Yeah.
going on? What do you...
well, no, like... so, Scott, you're in a band.
Yeah.
You play in a band called Divided Me.
Yeah, invited me.
Divided Me.
What do they call the hair on your tummy?
The Happy Trail.
Happy Trail.
Happy
Is that
Trail.
what they call it?
Happy Trail. That
It goes
from there.
Yeah.
from there down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it go all the way down there? Like you just have
To
a
your
line,
legs?
It just like hangs.
To your legs.
Yeah.
Gotta fold it up.
Exactly.
I mean,
Permit.
it's just like any beard,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, my beard's good.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
we're talking
your beard-
about.
your beard is
The beard
epic.
hair connects to the Happy Trail hair.
Happy Trail connects to the more Happy Trail.
Yeah, more Happy Trail.
A happier trail.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what were you wanting to talk about?
Yeah.
Did you do? Okay, like what did you do before that? Like
Before
like,
the band.
what, like your whole musical endeavor.
You want me? Let
Lay
me
it
start
all
with
out.
December 14th, in a year, sometime, I was born, and in a while later,
I was born sick.
I joined a band called Divided Me that was all kind of started, essentially that had no music really, and we just kind of started making stuff. Eventually, did an album called Story for the Broken, and it's on iTunes. And then this year we went on tour with a bunch of great bands. The Protest was like,
They were freaking amazing.
they're amazing. They're just, and the guys are essentially like, you could talk to them for hours,
Yeah.
just about whatever.
Yeah.
And they're probably Ilya, Theody were the three bands that I really most connected with. And there was a couple other bands that we kind of met on the tour, but really those were the three core bands that I connected with. And it was real fun. It was real exciting to be able to go and do that.
Yeah.
Because we never had that opportunity before. Even in the band I was in prior, we had gone on long trips, gone to different states. But this was like an entire week and some days, doing dates every night, and
Yeah.
it was real fun.
And like touring with like you're following
Legit.
other bands.
Legit bands, yeah,
Yeah.
following bands to places where
But not so much following, like you were all traveling the same place.
we were traveling together. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was so much sweat involved. Like, it really put a perspective on how much gear you have when you have to unload it and load it every night.
Right.
And that was probably the toughest part. Like, playing was the funnest part, and then just meeting everybody that we got to, like, people-wise, that would come up to me and go, hey, that was fun, or whatever, and then kick me in the shin and then leave, or whatever happened, you know.
Did
that
they kick
night.
you in the shin a
No,
lot?
not one person did, but I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
I feel like some people were like, "This was fun." Some people looked at me like, "Oh, they're screaming," because most of the bands, except for given Ilya and the Protest, they selectively did harsh vocals, but the majority of it was very clean vocals, and so it was weird being like the heaviest band on there because in Amarillo, where we usually play, we're like one of the lighter ones.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's fun being the heavier ones because you get a good crowd reaction from the youth, and then some of the parents are like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
If there's any parents there or whatever.
Right.
But we
just
had
a bunch of parentless
yeah.
children. Just
yeah. I mean, once we got out of this area,
Yeah.
we had a great crowd. We had a good we had a good following of people on the social network wise.
like
so-
the movie.
Huh?
Like the movie.
Yeah, the movie. Social network.
Yeah.
We
Jesse
had.
Eisenberg.
It was real good. I think that they did much better when we were on tour than when they actually released the video and actually they released the movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we boosted their ratings and stuff like that.
Right on.
Better, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but
yeah, it
you
was fun.
you gained a lot of people on social networking when you got out of the state.
Yeah, and we still connect with some of the bands. Like, I'll message them every once in a while. Like, Josh hurt himself, who was the lead singer of Protest, hurt himself like the day after we left at Bash on the Farm, and messaged him and said hopefully it was okay and stuff like that. So, and back and forth, we talked a little bit. And it's just cool to know that you're connected with somebody so far away with just the passion that you had for music and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
totally.
So it was real cool, real fun. I enjoyed it. I think the whole band enjoyed it. Definitely can't wait to do it again. So
Yeah. So like before you were in Divided Me, you said you were in a band.
Yeah, I was in No Sugar Added.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that was a local band
was-
from here.
also a local band. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That
How
was
long were you doing that?
6 years,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, so it was like 6 years.
Oh, why'd you kill
Why
that
did you
guy?
kill the homeless man?
I'm taking his suit.
You could have just knocked him out.
You shot him in the face. And he was drunk, dude. He didn't even realize he was going to die.
That's fine.
But you have a cop suit. Can't you go anywhere?
No, I have a bodyguard suit.
Oh, a bodyguard suit. Okay.
Okay. How do I?
Gosh.
Dude, the dummy, like, the ragdoll
Yeah.
effects in this are, like, insane.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
like a baby. How do I take his clothes?
Aw.
You'll do it when it closes. You can enter. You should be able to take his
Hey,
clothes.
buddy.
Let's get naked.
Nope, never mind.
Up, up.
Guess not. Look down.
I can't.
Okay, yeah, you can't take his clothes then. You killed that guy for no reason.
Wait, what is that?
Shane's
thing
a
counting
murderer.
down in the top
Golly,
left?
dude. This is mainly for the listeners because I know most of it.
Mm-hmm.
You were actually like, were you a roadie at first or like their manager? or-
No, I was
book
brought
stuff?
in as a guitarist, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it was definitely not where I needed to be.
Okay.
Because I was familiar with acoustic guitar and very unfamiliar with electric guitar.
Okay.
And the play style, you may think that it's not that different, but when I
Wait, is that the
didn't
guy
think
who
at first
killed?
that it was that different. So I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, yeah, sure, we can learn this, and I was like, not good
Yeah.
at it. So I knew a little bit of keys and I knew some chords and that. So I did synth for a while and did backup vocals, and then eventually just started doing my harsh vocals and stuff
Okay.
like that. So that's kind of the transition that I made there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know if because I remember
Wait, is
seeing
that the
you at some point because that band had been around for a long time.
Oh yeah,
And they'd gone through so many
Th-
different lineup
their
changes.
their lineup changes were worse than I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And the only member that stayed in there through the whole time was Chris.
Yeah.
And yeah, we went through a lot of people in that, even when I was in it.
Yeah.
So, because Jeremy was in it when I was in it,
Yeah.
and then so was Roman, and I mean there was just a bunch of lineup changes. So
Yeah.
that's the gist of that story.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah,
So
good times.
Divided Me, there's 4 of you now?
Yep, 4.
Because you had 6 originally.
We had 6, and it was a lot. And for reasons we had reasons to kind of cut some of the members, and it works now. And I don't think there's any harsh feelings now. But it was just one of those things that I think we felt like we needed to do. So yeah, we're down to 4 now from the 6, and it's working out really good. For recording purposes, it's good. I think they were talking about wanting another guitarist.
Yeah.
Just because Spencer is really good, but he gets kind of bored doing rhythm a lot, and and then whenever he goes to leads and stuff like that, it kind of loses its
Yeah,
touch.
totally.
You kind of want to have that groove still going,
Yeah.
so we kind of might want to add another guitarist. Right now, we're just working on our new album and everything. So
Are you writing or about to start recording?
it's written, and now we're probably halfway through with. We probably got 4 songs total complete, and then out of 13,
Okay.
and the rest of them are getting guitar tracks and everything like that worked out right now.
And are you recording that with New Wave?
We're not. No, they're actually shut down now.
Okay.
Mason Smith was the owner, and he originally was that was what he was going to do, but he was recording a band called Sleep for Dreaming. Joined their band during the time of their recording, and now has no time to do it. So he had to quit
I got you.
one of those and his passion was music. And he was really good at guitar. That's what he's playing now, and so he's working with that.
That's cool.
I do miss that. We've worked on a few scratch tracks, and I think we're gonna try to record most of it there locally here.
Mm-hmm.
We bought a bunch of equipment to do it, and we're gonna be mixing it and mastering it someplace else, and maybe doing a reamping and stuff like that through someone else. But for the most part, I think we're gonna record most of it here.
Mm.
So, and if it works out, it's kind of going to be trial and error at this point.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done that before. The only thing that we've done that before was like No Sugar Added, and that, you know how that turned out. So
Was it the Storm
that was
Coming album?
the little EP thing.
I'm on that album.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're on
I'm a
what song was that?
background vocal for I don't know what
Was that
it's
Reach?
called. No.
No.
Reach,
It was
Reach was a really fun song. I
Reach
wish
was
I
a fun
on
one.
that
I think that one was probably the only good one. It was the acoustic one.
song.
It was the other slow track we had.
I don't know if
I
it's
don't
called
remember what it
Thank
was.
You Jesus. Is that what it's called?
Oh, I don't remember what it's called. No, that's not what it is. But that was the part y'all were singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Leanne are on that.
Yeah,
So
that was fun. That was a cool little thing too.
Yeah.
Recording that was fun, just because that was my first time getting to do music and recording it with people,
Yeah.
not with myself, because all my single stuff was stupid.
You did do a lot of single stuff, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you do acoustic? Was it acoustic?
It was all
stuff,
acoustic,
or-
yeah. That and synth.
Yeah.
So-
Like electronic stuff.
Yeah, that was all dumb. That was all dumb.
So, your first album is Story for the Broken.
Yeah.
And the next one, is it all still conceptual? Are they both tied together? Is it still that? Or?
That one's not tied. They're separate stories,
But
basically.
they're both concept albums.
They're both concept albums, yeah. This one's
the
a
guy?
little...
Way to go, Shane. You got caught. Shoot him. Shoot him in the face. Shoot him.
The only one you can shoot,
You don't
and
have
you
any bullets. You ran out of bullets. Way to
Oh, now you
freaking
can
go.
disguise
Now you
yourself.
yeah, and you're being killed.
while you're
I'm that
being
guy.
killed.
I'm that guy.
Now
I'm
they
not
know
the-
who you are.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Run. X is run.
No, it's not.
Or A, sorry. Is
Yeah,
it A?
it's A. It's A because it's Xbox.
Is it A?
Is it A?
No,
No.
It's left bumper.
no.
Right bumper.
Right bumper.
Oh, it's left bumper. I'm sorry. Yeah. How do I stealth this guy?
X.
X.
But there's a guy in front of you. Two guys that see you taking
Oh,
that guy
they're
down.
gonna kill you now.
Way to go. You're dead.
You got to your right.
What? I saw a mannequin that was dressed just like him. What if he just stood next to the mannequin and
Oh,
froze?
yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool if you could do that? That'd be so funny.
That'd be like if they made a mask video game or something. I think they should do that. Some out of those. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
He just punched you.
He punched you to death.
I killed the guy.
Video games are so unrealistic. You can't punch somebody to death in
In
real
one
life
punch?
in one punch.
Well, he had been shot 15
okay,
times.
yeah, I get it. I guess, but still, I mean, getting shot in the stomach
No
and then hitting the
disguise
head is two different
changes.
things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a health bar in real life.
That'd be cool if we
That
had
would. That would be I'm just gonna kill you just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, they're both conceptual albums. The Story for the Broken was a real short story, so we're trying to expand this, and there was too much in it. You know what I mean? Not a bad thing. There was just a lot of things that we had tried to incorporate into it, story-wise, and this one we're focusing on one guy.
Okay.
Instead of a whole 3 different groups of people.
Sure.
This one we're just focusing on one guy and his. Basically, it's his. He's about to die. He has spent most of his life in search of what we're calling the Fountain of Youth or something that makes you immortal,
Okay.
and kind of immortalizing himself in the world.
Is the album called The Search for Immortality?
It's called it's called the Quest for Immortality.
Okay. That was
Yeah,
close.
it's real close.
I guessed. I
Yeah.
didn't know that at all.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
know.
that's great. But yeah, that's what it's about. Really, is his conversation with death is what it is.
Oh, okay, cool.
If it wasn't called A Quest for Immortality, it'd be called a conversation with death.
I like that album too.
Yeah.
You guys should do that also.
Well,
do both.
We want to do an acoustic version of
yeah.
most of the songs, so we might do a B-sides EP
And
or
call it
something.
The
Conversation with Death or
That'd
something.
be cool.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I like that.
It's real ambitious to say, yeah, we're gonna do this album, and then we're also gonna do a B-sides and stuff
Right.
like that when you're really local and not a whole lot of people know you. But I think that's the thing. You got to think big to
Yeah, I think with music and the amount of music outside of the church that I've played is not a lot, but
You had a bunch of. How many years were you in a band?
I was
You were in Checkered Shoe for a
I was
while.
in Checkered Shoe for 3 years.
Yeah.
The band was alive for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it was just initially just 3 of us.
I feel like you could have kept going.
I want to keep going.
Yeah.
all of us are. I mean, not anymore because Kyler has a baby, so it'll be a little harder. But
Yeah.
Yvonne's done with college, and I don't have college at all, and so
You gotta kind of like weigh how much free. That's the thing I have trouble dealing with is how much free time do I have to dedicate to some new project.
totally.
And I feel like I'm pretty much spent right now.
Yeah.
So like if you have enough time, you got to find people equally, equal to you on the amount of time they can spend on doing some other project.
Sure.
So, I mean, even if it wasn't like the same lineup, you could still.
Yeah. There's a lot I'd like to do.
Yeah. Even in your church, there's a bunch of musically inept people.
Yeah. And a lot of them are doing stuff together. Like Charlie and Chris are actually playing some stuff together right
Who am
now.
I
That's
guarding?
cool.
And
You're supposed to be guarding that guy.
That guy?
No, I don't have a clue.
Why can't I go upstairs if I'm his guard?
you have to change your attire to something.
Yeah.
No.
So, hey, go hide
okay.
in the bathroom. See that guy that just walked out of the bathroom?
Yeah.
That's not a
Take
bathroom.
his stuff.
That's staff only.
Oh. Well, there's a bathroom somewhere.
Follow him in
right
there.
there.
Right there, right
Follow him
now.
in the
Follow him
bathroom.
in the bathroom.
Right there.
Is that a bathroom? Yeah,
Yep.
restroom, right there.
And you take him out, make sure there's no one else in there.
Right, yeah.
And then yeah.
Hey, buddy, you washing your hands? Let me kill you.
Probably should have made sure that there was no one. Yeah.
Oh, like that guy.
Like that guy that's right there.
Just
shooting you.
snap his neck. It's time. You gotta go. Somebody knows that somebody's alive. Oh. Yeah. You got 8 bullets. That's gonna be like an overlay sound that people are like, why is that happening?
Hold on, I'm just using the bathroom. I'm sorry. I'm just.
You need to get out of there.
Get the plunger.
You
Get the
need to
plunger.
get out of there. You need to get out of
No,
there.
no, no. He's got the plunger.
You need to get out of there. They're literally just standing there. You need to get out of there.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
see, now they're
suspicious. You're suspicious.
Get away from the body.
You're suspicious.
Get away.
Why are you
What
killing
you
them?
doing?
They didn't know. They just thought this was weird that you were going over there with a plunger to the body. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kill him with the plunger. Just threw a plunger at him. Oh my gosh.
Golly. All right, well,
This game.
I'd like to do some more things. I think just working 2 jobs. Like, I'm essentially working 2 jobs.
Are you doing 2 jobs?
I have 2 positions
Yeah.
at the church with youth and music, so
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to do anything more than that. But
Yeah.
I did, like, I purchased some gear and stuff because I want to. But like you were saying, you have to think big. You have, like, if you do what you really like to do, like with the acoustic stuff, well, you said it's sort of ambitious to say, well, we do this album and then do this album also. Like, if you want to do both, like if it's something that you like to do, to just do it. Now, like, I guess it just depends on the person. Like, I don't know where I'm going with this. It depends. It depends on like how you're viewing what you want to accomplish with your music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if your specific goal is to gain a following and it be something that's financially better than like ambition better. Like if there was a scale, finance and I guess art, the art form. Like I don't think you can have both entirely. So it's either
No, I mean, some people are very lucky. Like, really small portion of artists in general, just like musicians or whatever, like, are very well off.
Yeah.
I think. But at the same time, if they are well off, they've done a lot of business. They've done a lot of the business aspect of it, and a lot of the other ones are just either doing it as a hobby or they're doing it because they love music. So, and that's really we call what we do really a hobby because that's kind of what it is until we're getting paid for it, But I would definitely love to either take a risk in doing the band thing, moving somewhere full time, doing something like that, or doing the YouTube thing full time, something like that. And I work for a living, 9 hours a day, and it sucks, but because you don't have a whole lot of time to dedicate to what you really love.
Right.
Did you get beat up in a fight in a bathroom stall?
He left the bathroom. Like, who goes and pees in the thing and then goes and poops? Like...
that actually makes more sense, though, to do that. Just go in the
to
urinal.
pee in the urinal and then sit
go
on the
in
toilet?
the toilet. I mean, if you really got to go, maybe there's some people in the bathroom. You're like, well, I could pee real quick.
I pooped in a urinal once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where? I don't want to know where.
I was a kid.
Oh,
I was a little kid, and the commode was broken, and I really needed to poop.
Oh, so you were alone, so
Yeah.
you didn't know to ask your parents and be like, "Hey, toilet's broken."
Ask your parents.
What should I do?
It was at a Kmart. It wasn't at.
Was it at our Kmart, like the one we used to have?
No, it was.
Oh,
it was where
somewhere
I
else.
used to live.
Okay.
But I was.
Well, then they're probably used to seeing that all the
and
time.
I really needed to go to the bathroom.
Nobody in here right now.
And so I did. I don't
That's
know why
awesome.
I said that, but
I pooped in a urinal sometimes. Sometimes. That's more than once. Yeah, you don't do it anymore. You just got screwed. They just all were like, I gotta take a dump too. Are they not even caring? Do they not care?
fake surrender.
Fake surrender. Now kill him.
Wahoo!
Now point it
yeah.
at.
Woo!
Kill
Fuck
him,
you!
kill him, kill him.
Fuck you!
Oh my gosh!
You're so bad at this. It's okay.
Okay. So you're saying about like moving somewhere.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about your Facebook video that just like blew up.
Oh, the
because you were just
Borger
making
Hates
the
Your
joke.
Band?
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I got so much love, and then all of a sudden I get a little bit of hate
really.
at the end. Like it was a trail of goodness, and then all of a sudden, like a little sliver of like hate,
Really?
just at the end.
Like what happened?
Well, at first it blew up like pretty good. It was fun. People were sharing it. People I didn't know were sharing it, and then I got tagged in it by somebody who was like in some other town, but they were like, "This is applies to our town" or whatever, and it kind of grew there too. But yeah, it was real fun. I liked making it because it was real spur of the moment too.
Yeah.
It was basic. People were like commenting saying it was about our band. It wasn't about our band. It was like it was about like Borger being really retarded with the way that they pick and choose bands to host and to promote in their town, whether they're nationally known, whether they're locally known.
Yeah.
There was a band opportunity to go, and one of the promoters locally was going to bring in who was it? I think it was Third Day. No, it wasn't Third Day. Dadgummit. 3rd Day Slumber? 7 Day Slumber. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And the library was going to let them use like the dome for it or something.
Yeah.
No, they were using the school place, and then they said that they weren't allowed to because of the band choice.
Okay.
And I got real tired of it because, every time at the and I'm probably gonna get a lot of crap for this because it's Borger. My mom knows, or is like the city council person.
Yeah.
Is a city council
There's
person.
literally 3 people that listen to our podcast.
No, not now. You got Shane
Well, with you,
and no,
with
not
you
because of
on
me.
it.
No, because I'm gonna promote the crap out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like every year they have a beach bash here,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so they have the beach bash, and they have that dude, and I hate locally promoted events anymore, just because when we were in a band in No Sugar Added, I was called a Satanist by some of the people that were running it. And I was like, dude, we're a Christian band trying to promote this. Just the style of music that we're playing is definitely not what you're used to, because you're going to bars here and listening to country music.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I feel very strongly about the way that people discriminate against bands in town. It may be a petty issue. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get out of this town. I'm trying to, if I move, cool. If I don't, I'm trying to just either get our material out of town.
Yeah.
So, what I think all these events in Borger are, they're just really who knows people that will do something for free. Like they never want to put any sort of money into anything that they do. Basically, like the DJ that they had up at the Beach Bash all the time, and the one that they had at the Relay for Life, the year I was there doing music, he had maybe like some speakers that were like hooked up to a desktop.
Yeah.
And he couldn't play CDs, and it was a karaoke thing. Like he was going to do karaoke for little kids and stuff like that. He could not accept CDs. He had to accept tapes tape decks. Like, and how old is that? I mean, like, literally, it wasn't that long ago that I played there.
Right.
And it had to be tape decks. They couldn't do iPod connections. They couldn't do any of that. And we had the capabilities because we were running sound. The guy did not want to use our system.
Yeah.
He didn't want to use it. And I didn't understand why, because he was not using a laptop. And they called himself a DJ. He was not using a laptop. He was using a little stereo that he plugged in, like, the yellow and red cords to. Yeah. And yeah,
he's a disc jockey that doesn't use discs.
Yeah, I was so amazed, and I was, this guy's making money.
Yeah,
he's making money doing this. Like, you could have hired somebody to run that, and it could have been somebody from high school to do it, and that would have been a great job for them. But no, they pick these people that know people in the Relay for Life, and I'm not saying that Relay for Life's bad. It's a really good thing to do. I just feel like there's some politics, Shane. There's some politics in it that I think the local towns probably have to deal with everywhere.
Totally.
Whenever they do it. And I feel like our city could do with a lot of younger voices in their group.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because I feel like it's all old fogies, and so I mean, people just need to understand that you're trying to serve the community and you're not trying to serve yourself. So, I think that's a big issue that we have in Borger. But not to get too far off topic. Sorry, I was just like ranting.
Nah,
My
man,
bad.
That's cool. I mean, that's the thing with the music scene here.
A
is
library.
Is really non-existent.
Yeah.
I
mean, it is, and it's not without people trying. There was a good
totally.
10 years. I mean, 10 full years of like bands just trying to be bands.
Yeah.
And it really spiked back, probably about 5-6 years ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like bands were just coming up everywhere. Everybody was being in a band.
I was in a band.
Yeah, I was in a band, and the more people tried to play somewhere local, they shut them down. I mean, it really was like, I hope the cops don't come because we're playing at Hastings parking lot because that's the only place we can play, or you're outside of the closed down bowling alley playing there. It's like, this is insane. There's no venues for kids to go, and they always talk about our community having like a really high drug rate, a really high pregnancy rate, and all that stuff, like as kids.
Yeah.
And what are you doing to combat that? You can tell them all day long in school that drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah.
But what are they doing to maybe get that out of their way of thinking?
Yeah.
How are you combating their lifestyle? Because what they're doing is they're getting out of school and they're going to hang out with their friends who may do drugs or whatever, or they're going home and they're by themselves and getting depressed and self-deprecating themselves, and that's not good. It's just, I feel like they do some for kids that what I've seen, the city council is doing some stuff for kids, stuff for like the seniors this year and stuff like that. Like, they're trying to show them the legal system, politics, and all that stuff, which is good, getting them out there. But I see that there's not a whole lot of clubs. You can join like band, or you can join choir, or you can join like theater. But here, like, if you're not in one of those, you're either playing sports or you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
There's a big group that's not doing anything.
Yeah. And that group's getting bigger.
Oh yeah. I mean, nobody wants to do anything anymore. People are just on their phones or on their video games, and they don't want to hang out anymore. They don't want to just chill anymore. And I don't remember, because I never did anything like that. I never did any of the drugs and that. So I was pretty blessed that I didn't have to go through that and didn't have to learn from that. The drug thing never appealed to me.
Yeah.
But when you have nothing to do and no friends,
right? That's what I'm saying. Like they have nothing to do. They have no friends. They have nowhere to go.
Like Hastings was the last place to
it
go.
was.
And think about that. Like,
Hastings saved my life.
Hastings was the thing to do.
Yeah.
Hastings, like the local bookstore, for anybody that doesn't know, that might see this.
It's like a Borders.
Yeah, it's like a Borders. Or, like a Borders.
There's a bookstore in the West Coast called that. Well, it used to be open, called Borders, and it was similar layout.
Would you
to
consider it like a
Hastings.
Barnes and Noble?
No.
No.
It'd be like
video games.
It'd be if it were
movies.
if a Barnes and Noble, GameStop, and Redbox combined.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good combination.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome to go there. I mean, at the time we were like, this is boring,
Yeah.
but really, what was there else to do? There was nothing. Yeah, man, that brings me back. I like that. That was fun. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just there's got to be a way to, and I want to speak to them. I want to like get a couple of them that are in that class on our channel to maybe like talk to them and see what they think about that issue, or what they think about if that even is an issue. Because I haven't been in high school for a long time, but I know that there's no way that it got better while I was out there. I mean, it just seems like it could have gotten worse.
Yeah.
And I feel like most people don't have conversations. There's no conversation going on in this county about things like that. It's always about old people getting involved in the city and no young people getting involved. Hell, even some of the old people don't even get involved in the city politics of things. And, you know, we had a big issue with, like, tearing down a building or whatever. Or no, it was roads. It was one-way roads. We were going to have some one-way roads going to town right there near the Morley Theater, the movie theater. And nobody showed up for those meetings. Like, nobody really gave a crap.
Yeah.
Everybody on Facebook gave a crap.
Yeah.
They were always like, man, this sucks. No way they shouldn't do this. Or, hey, this is fine. I don't give a crap. Like, but there was no conversation directly to anybody that could control it.
Yeah.
Like, Facebook in this town has become your just griping,
It's the forum.
whiny
For
forum.
sale in Borger.
For sale in
Oh
Borger.
my God.
If you want to have your life just ruined,
I don't know if I should post this here.
I hate those.
Fuck John
but
Doe.
I read them. I hate those, but I read them. I read all of it.
Man.
I love the gossip because
I found a guy to build my fence on there, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's helpful every once in a while.
Totally.
My
I
dad
mean-
sold his bike on there, so.
So are you saying you're going to run for city council,
Oh,
Scott?
heck no.
Is this your
Heck
open,
no.
like, this is where it all starts?
No way.
Everybody,
man.
Scott
Hearing
Felker's
the-
running for city council.
Scott Felker
I don't have-
2016.
I don't have the free
Scott Felker.
time. See, I'd have to give up band, and they wouldn't let that. They wouldn't let me. Actually, man, that'd be kind of funny to just run.
Uh-huh.
How old do you got to be?
I don't know.
32? You got to be an old person, don't you? I'm getting there.
No, not for like city council.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna run. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and again, like on the music scene, like, or things to do, the other thing is when, here's what I think the problem was with the spike of bands coming, is that it was one particular scene, and
Right.
it was, like, honestly the minority
Yeah.
scene. Like, there were people the people who were into the genre that was the bands that were mostly coming out, they're super faithful fans, but there's not a lot of them in town.
Right, yeah. Like, and I feel like, I was like, where are all the, honestly, like, I was glad that there weren't many, because it wasn't my type of music, but where was all the country artists?
Yeah.
You know, I don't see any country bands coming out of Borger.
Yeah.
And that's all that they play.
Because who listens to country music?
Well, I mean, I don't, personally, but,
Generally older people, and they're
Right.
the ones that aren't.
no,
Invested.
honestly, my brother's into country now.
Shane?
Yeah, Shane's
Younger
into country.
generation, that's like the thing that people are into here now.
Yeah,
Why?
it's really weird, because
know.
it's pop. It's basically pop now.
That's true.
It really is. Like, there's no good country anymore. Like, I dig old country.
Yeah.
I thought it was real good. And I like folk music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Folk music's good.
Absolutely.
But I don't hear any of those coming out of here.
Yeah.
Like, have
it's
you heard
scary.
of Noah Gunderson?
No.
Noah Gunderson is a great artist. I really like him. You should check him out. He's kind of, he's real acoustic, like singer-songwriter type person, but I like it. I mean, but I didn't see any of those kind of artists coming out, really.
Yeah.
Like, y'all's band was a little diverse from what we were doing, like punk band
Checkered
kind of
Shoe
thing.
was?
Yeah, Checkered Shoe, yeah.
Which that didn't. Literally, we played 2 shows, and one of them, only two of the members actually played it.
Right.
But like we had been, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, like we played variety show. So there was a school function, and we had a band.
Still,
band.
that's totally fine though.
Yeah.
I mean, that was still putting yourself out there. I mean, at the time, you had to find where you could put yourself out there, and that's what I'm saying. Borger had no venues, so where were you going to go? And the variety show was good.
Yeah, and then we played in Lubbock. We played one show in Borger, one show in Lubbock.
Yeah, I remember. I was with you in that Lubbock show. We were playing at that skating rink.
Skate park, yeah.
That was fun. We played with, who was that? John Barry. Did we play with John Barry?
No. No, you probably played with John
We
Barry.
played with him there a couple times.
No, we played with Sons of Thunder there.
Sons of Thunder.
Yeah.
They did that Under Oath cover.
I guess.
Right?
I just remember they talked a whole lot of crap on us on stage.
On stage.
Because we played a worship song, but we played it tried to play it a little more rock.
Yeah.
And then when they went on, they're like, hey, we're Sons of Thunder, blah, blah, blah. I know we're not praise and worship, but... And
they did say that.
They did say that, yeah. And after that, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So, but, that wasn't even... I really liked that, but then, I even, playing with not For Today. That would have been cool if I played with For Today.
For Today, yeah.
But For the Day...
I remember when you were in For Today. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and For the Day, we... dude, honestly, For the Day would have had a lot of potential to go...
Oh, yeah.
Go somewhere. I just didn't have the time, and then,
Had they not been internally fighting, I think, was one of the problems.
That was part of the reason why I left. The other reason was it was making me into somebody I didn't want to be.
Right.
So.
Well, you can't be around people you can't be around people that are different you do and not expect to change a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't I think it was just personality clashes.
Oh, really?
And because I enjoyed being around them, and they were cool people, and they all are still cool people.
Yeah.
But it was just for me, it was a personality issue. I just had a hard time. I didn't want to be so negative, and then that's what I wanted to be.
Was that their personality though? Was that
no? It was just because of some of the clash that I had.
Oh, I get it. Because you were feeling the negativity because people were.
Because I wasn't getting along with somebody, or they weren't getting along. We just weren't really
meshing.
Yeah, and the music was great, and part of it too. And I don't want to talk a lot about me, but because I do that.
Why
all
not?
the time.
Dude, this is your podcast.
Well, I do that all the time.
Oh, okay.
I'm not Mark Maron. I can't invite a guest on and then talk for an hour and a half.
The
about
literal
myself.
president of the United States.
Yeah. But no, with for the Day, I musically it was really great. But the thing about me was I really at the time was still trying to learn how to be humble and follow people that were leading, because they just let me join that band. I didn't form that band. Yeah. And all the music they wrote. I wrote one song with them, and then
they started playing it though.
And they forgot how to play it when I left.
Oh, really?
And so and I had written a lot of that song. I wrote the drums for it, or helped conceptualize the drums for it, and wrote a lot of parts to it. And Pablo wrote the lyrics to it. But it was vastly different than the rest of the stuff they were writing.
I could tell, and I think that was a good direction for them, though. Honestly, I think that would have been a fun direction.
Yeah, and the thing for me was I was struggling to and that's what I had heard was what was communicated after I left was that I wanted to play, because I was originally a bassist. I wanted to play lead guitar and be in the front and be a front man. That's what I wanted. That's what they thought. Mm-hmm. And in a way it was, because I was so used to, I was leading worship at the church, so I was in front there. Checkered Shoe was a band I had created, and even then, looking back now, I'm really embarrassed about it, but even looking back then, Yvonne and Kyler both were making harmless jokes, but about how I wanted to do everything.
Right.
When we would make videos, we were going to make vlogs about it, and about us writing the music and writing our album that we were going to write, and the intro was always going to be me playing every instrument. And then the guys standing off to the side, they were going to impose me into all the instruments. That's just kind of what I. And at the time, that's all I knew how to do. And it took me a really long time to figure out how to follow people.
Yeah, it's a good okay, but that's different. I mean, some bands you have a person who gives no freedom of control from the music up at all.
Yeah,
they want to do everything.
Yeah,
and I've had trouble with that on our YouTube channel and stuff like that, trying to give more responsibilities to people, because it's not because I don't trust them, or it's not because that's just I've been doing it.
Yeah.
and I don't feel like not doing it, or I do feel sometimes like not doing it. I feel like giving up control, but I feel like if I do, I fail.
Totally, yeah.
Do you get that? Like,
yeah, 100%.
It's the way I think my mind is wired, and probably yours too, because I picture you as a leader. I do. You know what I mean? So, like, I picture you as being that person that has to have a little bit of control to make even yourself believe, regardless of anybody else, that things are okay and things are working. Just to prove it to yourself, really. Yeah.
Like, if I don't have my hand in it, then I feel like it's failing.
Yeah.
Or I'm afraid that it's going to fail.
Right, because... And it's totally... It's not because of the person. It's not because of the people.
Yeah, it's not because of the people.
It's not. It's totally. A real, like, knee-jerk reaction to the way that I think. And so, yeah, I totally get that. And I totally see where you're coming with that.
And so I had to learn how to hone that in.
Yeah.
You know, and I think one of the few times that I've actually had opportunity to hone that in was I played with Joel Vaughn one time, or a couple times.
Yeah.
And
kind of made you just be the person.
It's way easier to do that with, and I don't say, I was, it sounds insulting, I'm not trying to be insulting. It's way easier to be humble like that and to, like, kind of step back, pull the reins back, and follow someone when they are vastly better than you.
Oh, yeah.
And at the time with For the Day, we were all relatively, like, pretty much skill-wise the same.
Right.
And so, like...
But you had a skill that they didn't, which was being able to lead worship. And I feel like you took that and incorporated it into what you were doing just because it's a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
So you...
I'm used to leading a team.
Right.
Yeah.
If you ever had a problem with maybe coming up with a riff or figuring out the way that the lyrics needed to go, then you knew that you needed to fix it, and everybody else was just like content with whoever's fault it is fixing the problem.
Yeah.
But you had, being that person, need to step in and help. But maybe, you know, people sometimes feel like they're what am I trying to say? People sometimes feel like you're stepping on their toes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that was part of, I think, some of the personality clash.
Right.
It was that. They felt like I was stepping up. It was definitely, especially when I started writing a drum part for a song.
Yeah.
Because, like, Karime is a way better drummer than I am.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
she's real good. I mean, it's just, that's the thing.
Freaking great.
Yeah.
And so when it was just one time she wasn't there and we were writing, and I was like, I'm just going to get on the drums and play it. And we kind of had to work through that and be like, I'm not trying to take away your thing. We were just writing stuff, and I thought it'd be cool. So
yeah.
But
and that's the thing too. You got to give a little. You got to take a little. You got to. I mean, all of that forms a good band.
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody.
Oh
should
gosh.
Hold it. B. X. B. X. Y. Kill him! Kill him! Oh, dang. Well, I mean, that was good.
Yeah, it totally was.
That was really epic. Yeah.
Well, because here's the thing, like, there's a couple bands that I look up to that, like, the Rocket Summer and Say Anything are both mostly written by one guy. All of his music's written by one guy, and he has a band that plays with him on tour.
Yeah.
And
so does he write all the parts?
Say Anything, Max Bemis writes. Initially, when the first few albums, he wrote everything except drums.
Oh wow, that's really talented.
And then Bryce Avery in the Rocket Summer, he writes everything.
Yeah.
Like, he does drum, he does it all. He writes it all. He gets in a studio with a producer, and he probably pulls people in sometimes to kind of help him figure things out, but for the most part, he's writing everything on his own.
Yeah.
And I think that there's people that can do that, and some people that work better that way.
Yeah.
But for me, I found, like, I collaborate better. When I'm by myself, I can't write a dang thing.
Oh, I feel the same way too. Like, and that's one reason why none of my single stuff was any good, because I was trying to write by myself, and I was trying to do it all by myself. I had limited knowledge of even just what I was playing with was the guitar. So, yeah. I mean, it's hard to do it just being one person. Yeah. So to do that, I feel like that's real lonely. Like, I enjoy having 3 other people to talk to me when we're trying to write a song. It's real fun, you know?
Yeah, and if it's people that you care about, I think that's the other thing, was I was afraid to write things with, other people. I mean, you're in a band with a guy that you have known pretty much
your whole life. You've known Jory forever.
Yeah.
And so, like, you guys are really good friends. And then the Reno's, like,
Yeah.
all you guys are, like,
We've
really,
all lived together except for Spencer. But
Yeah.
Spencer, we knew him because he's Tyler's brother.
Right.
So, and, yeah, I mean...
So, like, when you're riding with those people, you feel... I guess you feel safer, maybe.
Yeah.
And when I was riding with For the Day, and even in Checkered Shoe at the time, because Checkered Shoe I was still really insecure as high school, but in For the Day even, like, I was just getting to know those guys, and so when you're working with people and you don't really know them very well, it's kind of scary to write together because it's like, I don't want to be hurt by, like, writing something and they're like, no, that's not very good.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be really comfortable with the people that you know.
Right.
Like, even to a place where, because, like, I'm sure you and Jory over your friendship have had times where, like, you guys, like, could have killed each other.
Oh, yeah. I was a real the other day.
Yeah.
Like, he and it wasn't intentional. We were in a movie theater. We were watching a movie. We're getting out. I leave my popcorn on accident. And I grabbed my Coke because it's empty and I'm going to go throw it in the trash can. Well, he has the bag of popcorn. And I was like, give me that. And I kind of take it from him and it slings all over the floor. I felt like a real douchebag, but, you know, and since then, I hope he has forgiven me for it, you know.
Right.
Which he'll say, no, he hasn't. But that's just Jory's attitude. And I like the way that his attitude is. So
that's good.
Because it's totally unusual. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, your attitude is so different than Jeremy's.
Right. Like,
you know what I mean?
Jory's?
No, Jeremy's.
Jeremy's?
Jeremy's.
Jeremy's?
Jeremy's.
I guess. I'm just a louder Jeremy, I think.
Are you?
Yeah.
Over the last few months, we've discovered that we're a lot alike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We just express it differently, too.
Yeah.
But Jory, we can be more night and day than any other human.
Oh, yeah, y'all would be different, too.
Right.
I don't think there's anything like Jory.
There's nobody like
No.
Jory. Jory is like Tigger. He's the only
He's
one.
Jory's
Tigger.
an alien that's undercover as a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
In a good
Well,
way.
like even like you can be. The thing about you guys is like you could be mad at each other, but like even like maybe after a week or even a month though, you could still wind up being cool with each other again.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so like if you're riding and like he says, well, that's a stupid line, you
Right.
know, and
Which
it
he does.
and it
He
hurts,
does.
yeah, and it hurts you.
Right,
like,
no, it wouldn't.
You get over it.
The reason why it wouldn't hurt me coming from Jory, because anything that I ask of his opinion of, he's just like, that's dumb. Or ask me something like, just be like, ask me your opinion on this shirt.
Scott, what do you think about
Or-
Coke Zero?
Coke Zero?
And how it helps diabetics.
It's dumb. I think you're dumb for liking it. And that's him.
Helps diabetics?
It helps
Yeah,
diabetics. It helps diabetics.
They get to enjoy Coca-Cola and not die.
I
from
guess.
sugar coma.
I guess. Help's a weird word, but...
Sorry. It
benefits.
benefits. I feel like those are the same words.
No.
Okay, but no, benefits
Superman
is...
benefits the world.
Think of this, though.
Okay.
If Coke Zero didn't exist, a benefit would be that it's now a negative that it doesn't exist. If it didn't exist, is it really a negative? Like, that it didn't exist? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Like, if this does not exist,
Like,
does the world
is
suffer?
light... Is dark just like the absence of light, or is it its own
Right.
thing? It's that.
Yeah.
That whole argument.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cheshire's cat, right?
Schrodinger's cat?
No, Cheshire's cat.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know where any of you guys were going with that. So, I got lost.
Lost is a good movie.
It was a good show.
Yeah. It wasn't a movie, but it was a good
It was
show.
a show, yeah.
Don't
Oh.
look back, don't look back, don't look back, don't look back, don't look back!
So, you got anything else?
Yeah, I do actually.
Cool.
You were talking about, we're at an hour and 15. We might go 2 hours.
Suck it, who cares?
It'll be the longest one we've had since
Do a two-parter.
Avengers. Yeah, totally. That's it for now. Wait until part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. What'd you think? Were we fair? Were we right? Were we wrong? In the comments, let us know. We want to keep talking about this and making response videos and trying to just have this conversation. I think that's the thing we got out of most of this episode was it's just important to have the conversations about things. You know, when we're really invested or we really care about something, you know, even something like this, we have to just start having conversations about it. So it was really fun, and I really enjoyed talking to Scott and hearing what he has to say and just hearing about the tour and the people he met and just writing music and being in a band and all of that stuff. It was really, really fun. And so it was just cool to sit down with Scott. On SoundCloud, remember, you can comment at any time in the podcast, and it'll leave a comment on that particular time, so we know we can go back and listen to what we were saying and what you disagree or agree with. So on SoundCloud, share it with your friends, follow us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that good junk. We want people to get involved with what we're doing and join in the conversation however they can, and maybe you can come on the podcast or whatever. I don't know, man. We're figuring all this out, but we're having a good time, and I hope that you are too, those of you that are listening. Hi, Jared. And yeah, so thanks for listening. Thanks for watching us with your ears, and we're going to keep doing this. And look out for Scott's part 2 next week. Should come out next week, and we'll continue our conversation and all of that good stuff. Share us with your friends, comment, join the conversation, let us know what you think, and we'll see you next week. We won't see you. In fact, we won't hear you. You'll hear us next week. Unless I know you personally, then I might see you next week. But otherwise, I almost said it. I almost said be kind, be brave. It's like he's rubbing off on me. I don't know, man. Thanks again to Scott. Check out his band Divided Me and his YouTube Noonish. I'll remind you again in the next episode. Keep a lookout for next week's episode, Scott's episode, part 2. It's really, really good. The whole thing's just really good. There's not one better part. It's just all good. It was really fun. So, yeah. Not to say that we didn't have fun with everybody else. I think we have had fun with everybody that's been on our podcast. And it's just really fun having our friends be on and talk. It's a nice save, Jeremy. Way to be diplomatic.